Hey guys, it's Sancarn again here, bringing you my first vlog. I was thinking about actually recording my face while talking about all of these things that I'm going to talk about, but unfortunately at the time this was recorded my camera wasn't working, so I couldn't actually do it, even if I wanted to. So what brings me to recording this vlog anyways? Is there a special occasion? Well, there kind of is, but the main reason is because I didn't have a whole lot of time this week to actually upload a Minecraft-related video. I did upload a video about a speedy minecart bend, but I was rewatching the video on YouTube and I was seriously considering removing it. Compared to the majority of all my other videos recently, it just seemed really low quality. I'd like to hear your own comments about it, to be honest, as I'm still unsure whether I should keep it on my channel or not. But anyway, that being said, let's move on and into my story about my trip to Canterbury today. Before my train journey, I was going for a meal with some friends. I ended up slightly distracted at the meal and ended up leaving with 15 minutes to get to the station. I imminently thought, I'm probably going to miss my train. But I made the effort to at least try to make it in good time, yet I took it relatively easy. Multiple times throughout the journey I considered jogging, or maybe running a little, just for fun, but I soon rejected that idea when I realized my shoelace was untied. When I turned up at the train station, it was 8:33. My train left at 8:32. I found this fairly annoying because if I had actually put the effort into trying to run or tying my shoelace and then running some distance, I may have got there in time. If I hadn't got stuck behind a family on the way, I could have got there on time. If I had taken a quick taxi, I would have likely made it in time. However, all of these were what-if arguments, and fortunately I didn't have to buy another train ticket, since it was off-peak hours, so that's okay. So why was I taking a train to Canterbury in the first place? Well, the following day it was my cousin's wedding. Now, there's something about weddings, something I can't quite explain. I mean, sure, they're romantic, and they're an exciting new start for the couple in question, and that's all wonderful, but I find there's just something significantly different when it's a relative getting married. You see, when it comes down to someone who you've grown up with getting married, you suddenly realize how old you really are. I mean, I know I'm 20, but it never really clicked. As in, I never really reflected on how much I have lived through. I've lived through the first video games, the first games consoles, the credit crunch, the floppy disk, the CD, the DVD, the USB, S-Club 7, the steps, remember them? So much has happened in my own lifetime, and it's amazing to think what we have achieved in this time. To be fair, my cousin is at least 6 years older than me, but there is really something about landmarks such as marriages that really make you think about your own life for various reasons. Anyways, I digress, and if they ever watch this video, Katie, Matt, I hope you have a wonderful life together and I wish you a many happy years for the future. So anyway, getting back to the train station, I decided to go into a shop to get some food. After all, I had to wait for a whole hour for my train, so I might as well eat something, right? For those of you who don't know already, I have been a vegetarian for 3.5 years now, and I have spent numerous days and weeks thinking about the ethics behind vegetarianism. Those ethics will have to wait for another video, however, as I need to continue on with my story. So, I really wanted something that tasted sweet. Skittles are one of the only sweets sold by the shops in the UK that are totally gelatin-free and suitable for vegetarians. However, the shop I was looking in didn't have any Skittles. So what was I to do? They were selling chocolate, but I didn't want chocolate. I'd grown bored with the taste of chocolate. I started looking at wine gums and licorice all sorts. Around 4 to 5 years ago, before I was a vegetarian, I was virtually addicted to wine gums. However, because I decided to be a vegetarian and wine gums contain gelatin, I had to give up wine gums. To this day, I still miss wine gums. So as I was staring at the sweet rack, staring at these wine gums and licorice all sorts, my internal argument was, licorice contains gelatin, but it's far different to the type used in gelatin sweets, right? So that's okay, right? For some reason, I thought this was an entirely justified argument, until I realized that gelatin is still gelatin, no matter what it makes. But that did not mean I stopped considering wine gums. Far from it. Nobody will find out, I said to myself, as if someone would be disappointed if I gave up my own restriction. You don't need to tell anyone, and afterwards you can return to being a vegetarian. 1 packet of wine gums won't hurt, I said. I stood there deep in thought in front of the sweet rack, scratching my chin with the bottle of Tropicana I had already planned on buying. Thoughts of wine gums were flooding my mind. The owner of the shop must have thought I was insane. Giving in to my own self-inflicted torture, I leaned forwards, reaching my hand out like a child reaching out for a lollipop and touching the packet of wine gums. In that instant, I came under the sudden realization of what I was about to do. 3 years of work, 3 years of rejecting temptation was about to be thrown down the drain just because of my own desires to taste something sweet. This epiphany, like a message from the divine, hit me hard and caught me off guard. My hand jolted away as if shot by a live wire. I picked up a packet of mini eggs, paid, and left the store. Afterwards, I started to analyze the situation. Nothing like that had ever happened before, and I am not one of those who believes in divine intervention, though completely agnostic to the proposition. I realized that the power of my own mind is much more powerful than even I had ever imagined. I already knew it was pretty damn powerful. I had already forced myself into situations that put my body in danger just to show myself that I could control my own body with my own mind. But it seems the pact I made with myself 3 years ago is now so deeply ingrained into my own psychology that to even consider the proposition of breaking my pact is physically and mentally impossible. So guys, I guess I have a few questions for you. Have you ever only just missed an event, just by a factor of minutes, but upon reflection realized that you actually could have made it to that event if something hadn't happened, if another event before that event hadn't actually occurred? And question number 2 is, has anything ever happened to you which has made you think about how old you are and at how much you have experienced? As a 20-year-old, I know I am merely, at the very least, a quarter through my life. But I am still very surprised at how far I have come. Though, thinking about it, these are only very recent reflections, and 5 years ago, I wouldn't have given it a breath of thought. So that's my question for you guys. Has anything ever happened to you which has made you think about how old you are and at how much you have experienced? I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments down below. And guys, that's it for this video. That's all I have time for. And I guess I'll see you again in the next video.